I was never really a believer in the world of the supernatural and the dead, but until recently, my whole world has been changed. I have never honestly told this to anyone, not even my own family, but I was hoping this would give me some closure. Some of you will say this is fake, but it's not. I can't believe of it. I can't believe it myself sometimes. It all happened a few days ago, as of now when I'm writing this. So, take my word for this. My mother and my father had been split, so that really didn't help. They did not get a divorce because they see no point for it. They just can't get along. I'm just fine. They they can get along just fine, and they just can't live under the same roof. Like I said, I was not a firm believer in the world of the supernatural till recently. My mother and sister are believers, however. My dad just thinks there are some things in this world we can't quite explain, and which I was like that before all of this. And my older brother, who is now 21, thinks that people make make stories like this to make a quick buck, or the people who say, as I saw it goes, were either drunk off their ass or are high on paint thinner or something. I bet if I told him what I'm about to tell you, he would say I was lying when I'm not. It all started about a week ago. I, I was and still am living with my mother outside of my hometown since my dad let my childhood home fall apart and has to get had it gutted to replace the 40-year-old wiring. And now he's gonna fix the house for his girlfriend when my mother asked him time and time again to fix things. But I'm getting off topic here, so let's get with it. I had no choice but to move in with my mom because I didn't want to feel crammed in my grandpa's house. So I had no choice. But ever since my mom moved in here, her and my sister and a girl my mother took in to get away from her stupid as hell father, uh, they said the house is haunted. Uh, the house is old as the town on its in has a long history. They said they have heard knocking on walls and on doors. One time, my mother said she heard someone or something knock on her door, or twice. This is her bedroom door, of course. She thought it was the girl we took in, and to get something. After a minute or two, she got up after no response and went downstairs to ask her if she knocked on the door. Then the girl we took in said she said that someone knocked on her door twice. It still really didn't. I still really didn't believe ghost up until that point. I tried to tell him it was probably the house settling, or creaking, or maybe something in the walls, since the house is old. Like I said, it was probably an animal in the walls, or some kids playing outside, or a tree brushing up against the walls outside. But it's not to say I did not completely believe in the supernatural before all this. A few years ago, in late summer of 2011, I had been in, and it's been 1 month since my mom moved back in with my dad in early summer of 2007. It was a Friday night. My dad was working late at the garage. My sister was spending the weekend at our aunt's house, and my brother was hanging out late with his friends. My mom was fast asleep in her room, and my older cousin was out cold on the couch. I decided to sleep up along with them. This was around 9 p.m., I do believe. I changed into my pajamas. I climbed the ladder to the top bunk and went out like a light. But then I was woke up after what only seemed like minutes. I woke up to the sound of what sounded like faint footsteps outside my door. I opened my eyes to look. I got the digital clock, and it said 9:23 p.m. I just shrugged it off. I often thought my dad got home, or one of our 3 dogs, which we had at the time, started moving around. Then I heard the faint foot. Then the faint footsteps kept happening for about 5 minutes, I do believe. I decided to get up, grabbed my flashlight, and decided to see what the noise was. I went to the kitchen and the living room, but to my surprise, no one came in. Not my dad, not my brother, not no one. And all of our dogs were fast asleep, like everyone else. Our Chihuahua was passed out. Our Chihuahua, who passed away almost 2 years ago, of this being written, was asleep next to my older cousin, like he usually does. Our lab mix was asleep in the corner of the living room, like he always did. And our Jack Russell was asleep in my dad's recliner. Somehow, I didn't wake anyone up when I was moving around, not even the dogs. So I just shrugged it off and thought I must have been hearing things since I was tired. And I decided to go back to bed. But as I passed the door that led to the basement, right outside my bedroom door, I thought I heard something on the other side of the door. I stopped, and I swear, I thought I heard something whisper my name, followed by what sounded like something, or someone, stumbling and fell down the steps to the bottom with a big thud. My flashlight went out. I was little, so I was scared. I dropped it. I ran to my room and pulled a blanket over my head. I woke up the next morning at around 7:30, I do believe. I sat up shaking, and sweat ran down my face. I asked both my mom and my older cousin if they heard anything in the middle of the night. And to my surprise, they both said they did not hear anything at all last night. And my dad said he got in and at around 10 p.m. So I just really thought it must have been an intense dream. But I'm now convinced that was not a dream. Up until a few months ago, I felt the same way as I did 5 years ago. And a few months ago, I had the household, and a while ago, I had the whole house to myself. I was not feeling well, so I decided I had to stay home for the day. It was a Saturday. My sister was out to breakfast with my dad and his girlfriend, and my brother and my brother's fiance. My mom was still working Saturdays then, and my older cousin, like he always does on Saturdays, went out with his girlfriend. And the girl my mom took in was out with her friends. So I had the house to myself, and there were no pets because our landlord did not allow animals. I got up at around 9 a.m. after a little bit everyone was gone. I decided to watch a movie. After the movie was over, I was about to play some video games. Then I heard something downstairs. It sounded like heavy footsteps. Heading into the back room, I thought that maybe our roommate, the girl my mom took in, was still here, but I swore she left already, so I got up and went downstairs to sort of investigate, so to speak. To my surprise, no one was there, but after I was done looking around, I heard something that sounded like breathing coming from the back room where the furnace is. I opened the door expecting to see someone trying to pull a scare or a prank on me, but I did not find anyone. But as I was about to leave, all I saw was a blank expression, endless white eyes staring at me from the dark, and what felt like staring into my soul. Then I heard something or someone say my name. Then it disappeared. I backed out of the room slowly and went back into the kitchen before I bolted upstairs into the living room. I fell on the couch, and then after a few seconds, I passed out for about 5 minutes. I haven't told anyone about this until now. The whole thing has been eating away at me, and the whole image of those eyes staring at me from the dark is forever burned into my head, and they'll stay there till the day I die. I know a lot of people are gonna say this is fake, but I can assure you it's not. I'm just hoping that telling people this story will clear my head and give me some closure. If you are a believer in the supernatural, and you believe me, or if you're one of those people that say shit like this is fake, and I'm doing this to make a quick buck, it's your opinion on life, and I hope I can put my mind at peace now that I told you this. If you believe me and support me, thank you. I think I hear footsteps, and I'm the only one in the house right now.